kind of something we do with direct drilling. You know, occasionally we'll have, okay, it's not as 100% reliable as our other establishment system was, so sometimes we get places where crops don't grow or wet spots get washed out or whatever. But this, you'll see to that line there where it changes colour, this field was oilseed rape last year, and this lower stuff down here, you'll see it's down near the river. There's still some puddles of that, but this area here didn't really grow with the oilseed rape. So we came in here in about May or June, and we sowed a mad maybe 10-way cover crop mix and just left that there for the whole summer to grow. Went up to, yeah, it was probably waist high or even higher. Maybe it was big sunflowers and mustards and phacelias and all sorts of nice looking stuff looking out of it. So we just left that there, didn't touch it. And then, so by the time we came to sow the wheat in the whole field, which is around middle of September, this was, you know, a big mat of stuff, and we sowed the wheat into it, and as you can see, it's come really well, the wheat. So, you know, it's just a kind of a different approach to dealing with a bad area in a field or a wet spot. Like, you know, we're very near the river here. The river probably needs to be cleaned out. Like, it's the water level is very high, so we're probably not going to get a perfect crop in this area of the field every year. So rather than try, you know, getting big tillage equipment into it, or trying to put extra fertilizer or different, you know, whatever we can, we'll try and just grow a big cover crop into it. So even if we only get a crop off this, you know, this small area of the field every second year, it'll be a good crop, and we'll be improving the soil down here. So that's kind of our answer to, well, it's one of, you know, it's our main answer, you know, in this direct drill system to, you know, bad areas in fields, or, you know, problem areas that you can't get them to grow good crops, is just come in the summer, around May, June, at the start of the real peak growing period, throw like a mad multi-species cover crop into it, let that grow massively, and then that'll kind of heal the soil. It'll kind of do a job, and it'll put down roots. It'll give you a heap of biomass. It'll protect the soil then against any, you know, heavy rainfall and wash off, and, you know, it'll at least give you that next crop kind of a good entry and starting point, and let you get one good crop growing into it. And then then it's, you know, hopefully this will improve the next time, and maybe the next autumn won't be so wet, and we'll, you know, we might get the next crop into this area fine. And then maybe after that we'll have to do this again. Like, but it's kind of, it's a cheap option for dealing with, you know, difficult parts of fields. Like, it might be, you know, on this, there's maybe 2 acres in this, probably the cover crop seed costs €20 an acre. That's €40. You know, a bit of time, sure, in May, you know, May, June, sure, you know, you're not too busy then anyway, so it's no big deal to come and just sow it. It's also doing like a lovely service to the nature and all the wildlife around the place. It gives it kind of, you know, it puts it, you know, fantastic habitat just in the corner of or the beside or a patch of your main sort of cropping area. So, like, there's a lot of good things going for it, I suppose. And, like, you know, it's kind of my preferred option to, like, see in a bad area in a field where it's not growing, whereas some people might say, oh, we need to get in and plough that, and we need to go in and rip it up and bust it up, or do this, that, and the other. I just prefer this approach, because, you know, if we start ploughing down here so near the river, yeah, we might get crop established into it, but, like, guaranteed you're going to get a heap of soil washed straight into the river every time, and that's no question about it. So this, like, we've all this matter residue here, it's going to protect this soil. It's helped us to get this crop out, or not get this crop in and growing. So I think it's definitely something I think more people should be doing.